Greater Manchester, England, a family checking their cameras after a quiet night made a horrifying discovery. A stranger crept into their living room holding a large knife, moving silently only feet from the couch where the stepfather lay sleeping. He had no idea someone was standing over him. What would have happened if he woke up? On the Paranormal Encounters subreddit, one user shared footage from a friend who had just moved into a new home. At first, the man is relaxed, filming himself while his dog stares into the distance, fixated on something unseen. He tries to shrug it off, even speaking directly to the camera about how unsettling it feels.
Jackson is like laser ass focused on this right now. He won't, like, you alright? I know. I think something's wrong. I don't know. I hear noises, but I'm not even sure. Are you f***ing kidding me right now?
But then the atmosphere changes. His dog suddenly erupts into frantic barking, refusing to calm down no matter what he does. The tension builds with every second of noise until something truly chilling happens.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Jackson. Jackson. What's wrong? There's banging and stuff.
The door in the room slowly creaks shut on its own, as if pushed by an invisible hand. Whether it was just a draft, warped hinges, or something far stranger, the timing between the barking and the door moving is almost too perfect to ignore. The man's friend, shaken by the experience, didn't stay in the house long after that, and watching the footage, it's not hard to understand why. On September 12, 2024, in St. Albans, Hertfordshire, UK, a police officer carried out one of the most shameful abuses of power imaginable. During a home search, while the female resident was detained on a false accusation, the officer rifled through her belongings and was caught on a Ring security camera stealing her underwear. The woman explained later that she had been handcuffed, searched, placed in a police car, and taken to the station where no further action was taken against her. While she was gone, the officer, believing himself above accountability, violated her privacy in a way that was not only illegal but deeply degrading. The case came back into the public eye on August 18, 2025, when the victim herself posted the security footage on TikTok, exposing the horrifying betrayal. The officer eventually admitted to theft and abusing his position, resigned from the force, and was sentenced to 4 months in prison. Senior officials condemned his conduct as a disgusting and unforgivable breach of public trust, stressing that he had tarnished the reputation of the police and caused lasting harm to community confidence. He has since been permanently banned from ever working in law enforcement again. This was not just theft, it was a grotesque violation of personal dignity by someone sworn to protect. At a KFC in Sydney, Australia, a customer begins filming after asking for bacon, something this halal branch doesn't serve. Instead of calmly explaining, one employee explodes into anger, shouting at the camera and demanding not to be filmed. Ironically, his rage over being recorded only guaranteed the clip would go viral, spreading across the internet far wider than if he had stayed quiet. In Inside a steel factory, a forklift operator unknowingly loads wet scrap metal into a blazing furnace. The result is a violent chain reaction called a molten metal splash. Steam, fire, and molten debris exploding outward like a man-made volcano. The forklift itself ends up shielding the worker from injury, saving his life. A mistake that could have been fatal instead became a fiery lesson in safety. Imagine sitting at your desk when suddenly two large black bears wander inside. That's exactly what happened in an engineering office in Tibet.
慢慢的开嘛。
这还是有点吓人哦，慢慢的打开。
他也不敢了嘛。
我还是我来。他那个力好大哟，你开玩笑，上吨。还有他不主动攻击人了。哎呀，两个人真是。
Panic erupted. Employees scrambled to keep their distance, while the bears themselves looked just as terrified of the people. For several tense minutes, no one moved. Finally, the animals found their way out, leaving shaken workers behind to process the surreal encounter. February 29th, Jiuquan, China. Surveillance cameras captured a man dismantling a brick wall beside his yard. At first, everything seemed routine until the ground began to shift. The massive structure wavered, seconds from collapse. His sister screamed a warning, but would he hear it in time? On October 24, 2023, CCTV inside a Kazakhstani bakery captured a horrifying scene. Workers were loading bread into a service elevator when, without any warning, the lift suddenly plummeted. One man narrowly escaped by rolling clear, but another remained trapped inside as the elevator crashed down. The impact proved fatal. What began as an ordinary day at work ended in an unthinkable tragedy. In Barbados, 46-year-old bus driver Marlon Tempo picked up two men late one night. Within moments, they pulled a gun on him and ordered him to comply, but Marlon refused. Instead, he slammed a gas pedal, racing the bus through the dark streets at breakneck speed. The would-be robbers panicked, screaming that they didn't want to die. One struck Marlon on the head, only for him to drive faster. Finally, when he slowed, the men leapt out and fled. Against all odds, Marlon had turned the tables. What should have been a simple Uber ride turned into a nightmare for biotech CEO Brian Coble in Charleston, South Carolina. Coble, who had his 17-pound service dog Piper with him, says the driver flat out refused to allow the animal inside the vehicle. Despite Coble explaining that Piper was a trained service dog, the driver ignored the law and demanded they not board.
He was very emphatic that she not get in the car.
Coble told the driver to just cancel the ride, but instead, things spiraled into shocking violence. Video shows the driver headbutting Coble before sucker punching him, knocking him to the ground as horrified witnesses rushed to help.
Next thing I know, he's out of his car, yelling, and that's pretty much all I remember.
Some guy just knocked some guy out in the parking lot. He's bleeding very badly in the back of the head.
Someone just punched someone and fell on the ground and his head is bleeding from the back.
Does anyone need medical attention?
Yes, extremely.
Piper, still in Coble's arms during the attack, was jostled loose but quickly returned to her injured owner. Coble suffered a traumatic brain injury and says he continues to deal with lingering effects.
There's still some lingering effects of it. I get weird tingles in my finger.
The senseless assault left him not only physically hurt, but shaken by the realization that something as ordinary as ordering a ride could end this way. The driver, identified as Vadim Ujvi, later claimed he was allergic to dogs, but Coble's attorney insists Ujvi should never have been behind the wheel at all, pointing to questions about his immigration status and whether his license was even legitimate.
We're supposed to be in our country. He was certainly never supposed to be behind the wheel making money for Uber.
Uber, while saying they can't comment on pending litigation, issued a statement stressing that violence has no place on their platform. Still, for Coble, the damage is done. An ordinary night out ended with him bleeding on the pavement, his service dog frightened, and a driver whose disgraceful actions betrayed every standard of decency and safety. In December 1990, the Tiede family traveled to their mountain cabin in Oakley, Utah, eager to celebrate Christmas in the snow. The cabin, lovingly nicknamed Tiede's Tranquility, was their safe place, where they made lasting holiday memories.
Away from Texas, being able to be in a snow-covered white Christmas, and that was our family dream. We looked forward to that every year, to get to be able to spend our Christmas vacation together in the mountains with our family.
But what awaited them that year was nothing short of nightmarish. Two ex-convicts, Vaughn Taylor and Edward Deli, had broken into the cabin. Instead of leaving, they lingered, waiting for the family to return. They even filmed themselves opening Christmas presents under the tree with a VHS camera, mocking the joy that was supposed to fill the home.
How am I supposed to find out?
When Kate Tiede, her mother Beth, and daughter Lena arrived first, the killers ambushed them. Kate pleaded for her family's safety, but she was shot.
Way up the stairs, opened the door, and I saw a flash of gray move behind the refrigerator. And the next thing I knew, there was a man pointing a revolver at me, saying, "Get in here, get in here." A second man comes out with thick glasses behind the bedroom, pointing another big black gun at me.
Beth was killed instantly. When Ralph Tiede and his other daughter returned moments later, they too were confronted at gunpoint. Ralph was shot and left for dead, while the men doused the cabin with gasoline and set it ablaze, taking Lena and her sister hostage. The killers attempted to flee in the family's snowmobiles.
Stop proceeding because my uncle just saw us. At some point, he's going to clue in that those girls went somewhere they shouldn't have gone. So we've got to slow down the situation. So immediately I say, I have to go to the restroom. I have to go to the restroom. And as we're driving down, they said, okay, but if you do anything funny at all, consider your sister dead. We pulled up to the gas station and the driver said, no, this doesn't look right. I don't feel comfortable. This doesn't look right. So we continued down the road to go to the next town, to the next gas station. As we're in between the two towns, a cop started coming by us and passing us. The driver immediately began to freak out. There's a cop, there's a cop, there's a cop, man. The one in the back said, calm down, cool off, man. It was just a cop, relax.
Miraculously, Ralph survived long enough to call for help, and police soon pursued the men. Taylor and Deli were captured after their car went off the road. Ralph, though badly burned and shot, lived to tell the tale. Taylor was sentenced to death. Deli received life in prison, but the memory of that horrific Christmas never left the surviving Tiedes, a chilling reminder how quickly evil can shatter even the happiest traditions. CCTV footage shows a man entering a business with a backpack. His intentions clear, but what he pulled out left viewers stunned: a massive sniper rifle. It's a weapon rarely seen outside of war zones, and he aimed it inside a small store.
Empty the drawer. Drawer now. The fuck the drawer. I ain't playing with you. Empty the drawer. Empty the drawer now. Okay. Empty the fucking drawer. Okay. I promise. I ain't playing with you.
Yet in a bizarre twist, the man suddenly panicked and fled without taking anything. Some say the gun may have been a prop. Others insist the clerk said something to frighten him. Whatever the reason, the encounter ended as strangely as it began. A busy intersection turned into a bizarre battleground when two men squared off, wielding improvised weapons. As if straight out of a movie, a third man appeared to egg them on, escalating the surreal standoff. The fight ended without a clear winner, but left bystanders baffled at the spectacle. October 15th, 2022. Two friends set out on motorcycles to conquer one of America's most dangerous roads, the Dragon. Stretching 11 miles along the Tennessee-North Carolina border, it packs 318 tight curves into its short distance. Riders come from all over the world to test themselves there. For 41-year-old Kevin Diepenbrock and his friend 29-year-old Philip Plato, it was supposed to be just another thrilling ride. But near mile marker 4, disaster struck. Philip suddenly braked. Kevin, following closely behind, had no time to react. His bike slammed into his friends, sending both men flying over the guardrail. Philip crashed 50 feet down and was killed instantly. Kevin tumbled twice as far, more than 100 feet, breaking ribs, puncturing lungs, fracturing his spine, yet somehow he survived. Pinned on the forest floor, bleeding and unable to move, Kevin realized no one knew where he was. Hours ticked by. He began recording farewell videos on his phone, messages filled with pain, regret, and love for his family. "Take care of the puppies for me," he whispered. "Tell mom and dad I love them."
Hey everybody. That's all I can really say. About 10:30 this morning. Been laying here ever since. About 50 feet down in the ravine. Just want to say I love you guys. Sorry I was being stupid, but you know that's what I do. Mom, Dad, love you. Courtney, love you. Kurt and Marnie, Karen, Matt, love you guys. Take care. I think I got a broke sternum, ribs, maybe back. I love you guys. Take care of the puppies for me too. Give Kimber and Ruger lots of love for me. And Rocco, Notch, and Kimber. Rocco, Notch, and Tango. I miss you guys.
As his battery drained, he tried waving his flashlight at passing riders, but no one saw him. Hundreds of motorcycles roared overhead, unaware of the man dying just below.
7 o'clock. Trying to use my flashlight to wave somebody down. I think I moved. I think I tried getting up. I think I passed out. Definitely punctured some lungs. Love you guys. Man, I could use a drink of water. They're just like 50 feet away. All right. Love you. Love you, Courtney. Love you, Mom, Dad. Hey, yeah. Take care. Hey, I'm at 10% body, 10% battery. It's 11 o'clock. Man, I wish you would call Tennessee and tell them you got a husband out there that hasn't checked in since 10:30 in the morning. I love you. I don't know what to say. Hopefully be able to sleep and catch a state trooper in the morning. I love you. Good night. Love you. Sweet dreams.
30 hours later, someone finally heard his faint cries. Emergency crews rappelled down the steep slope and pulled him out in a dramatic rescue. He was barely alive, but alive nonetheless. Today, Kevin is still recovering, physically scarred, but changed most by the reminder he says never leaves him. You never tell people you love them enough. I thought of nothing else while I was down there. On a road infamous for claiming lives, Kevin walked away with his and a second chance. September 18th, 2023, a group of friends gathered to practice choreography for a dance recital. They filmed their routines, laughed and relaxed afterward, sitting around and playing games. That's when the night shifted. One of them suggested a playful challenge, move only when the lights were off. They filmed it for fun, but what the camera captured next was anything but fun.
Middle, down.
Okay, I'll do the...
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a 90s dance.
Let's do it. You can only move when the lights are off. You can't move when the lights are on. You have 5 moves to get to me. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, all right. You have 5 moves to get to me.
Oh
my God.
Turned the light
I'm
on.
sorry. Something fell, right?
Yeah, it was sitting right here. Was it?
And it just fell off? Okay.
Fell? No, feel this. Flew off. There's no way
It was
this
here?
fell. Feel how heavy this
I
is.
don't know.
Yes, it was sitting right here. Did you touch that?
No, she didn't touch it.
I don't know. That's... I don't know.
Maybe it was like...
Wait. What?
Was that already
Why is that?
moving?
Oh my God. You guys. What the hell?
That was... Okay.
So
what? No.
What the
cat is
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What is...
Wait. I'm really scared.
A heavy crystal cube suddenly flew off a shelf across the room, slamming to the ground. Not toppled, not nudged, thrown. The girls froze. They picked it up, unsettled, and placed it back. Minutes later, another thud echoed. This time, the cube had shot across the room again, caught clearly on tape. As panic spread, the ceiling light began swaying, and a cabinet door creaked open by itself. The group bolted in terror. The video ends abruptly. No follow-up has ever been posted, and no explanation has been given. Was it a prank, a trick of physics, or something unexplainable? For now, it seems another eerie clip that leaves more questions than answers. Deep in the South American rainforest, a group of locals navigated the river in a small, flimsy canoe. The ride seemed routine until they noticed something massive moving in the water beside them. A giant anaconda surfaced, its dark scales cutting across the current. These snakes rank among the largest in the world, capable of suffocating prey far larger than humans would dare imagine. Thankfully, this one slipped back beneath the water without attacking, leaving the group shaken but alive. September 1st, 2021, as the remnants of Hurricane Ida swept through New Jersey, floodwaters rose across the town of Cranford. At the Valley family's home, water crept into the basement. Janice and her husband, Marlon, went downstairs with their sons, including Mateo, to move belongings. At first, it was ankle deep, then it surged higher. Within seconds, disaster struck. The basement wall gave way under the crushing pressure of the river outside. Water burst in like a tidal wave, slamming Janice against the current. Unable to swim, she clung desperately to a boiler, barely keeping her mouth above the surface. One of her sons was pinned between beams, managing only to punch through a ceiling tile and breathe through the small gap. Marlon grabbed the only tool he could find, an umbrella. He smashed the basement window open against the torrent. First, he pulled his son through, then fought the current to drag Janice out. Drenched, injured, and in shock, the family collapsed outside, alive but shaken. Their house was ruined, its foundation ripped apart by the flood, but thanks to quick thinking and determination, the Valley survived. Later, Janice recalled how close it came. "I opened my eyes and saw the ceiling above me. I thought it was the end." Community members rallied afterward, raising over $45,000 to help rebuild. For the Valley, survival mattered more than anything material. They lost a basement, but kept their family. A warm June night in 2021, Holly Springs, Georgia, 35 miles north of Atlanta, a place where most evenings slide by without incident. Just after dusk, Sergeant Andrew Drake clocked a sedan tearing through a 40-mile-per-hour zone at 72. Routine stop, routine paper. At least that's how it should have gone.
Yes, sir. What's in your pockets?
2317, 715, units to 4.
Let me see what's in your hand there.
Code 4, you're running in Denver.
Officer Joe Buren, 25 years old and known around the department for being steady under pressure, rolled in as cover. 2 units, 1 car, nothing unusual. At the curb, the driver tried to pass himself off as someone else. His brother's name, no license, a flimsy story that shifted every time an officer asked a new question. The air around the open door carried the sharp, leafy smell of marijuana. In plain sight, labeled baggies and a canister packed with green. Still, the driver kept asking for a phone. First his mom, then a lawyer. Officer Buren told him no. His name was Annie Dolce, 29. On paper, he was far more than a traffic stop, a documented member of the money murder set of the Bloods. On parole for robbery out of New York, with an open domestic violence case in Illinois. 2 years earlier, he'd cut off his GPS monitor and disappeared. U.S. Marshals had been watching his movements for weeks, including drives past his mother's place in Waleska. None of that was visible from the roadside, but it was all there, coiled underneath the moment.
We have a fleet tag over the registration sticker.
You advise 73 of 93, 73 of 93.
Who'd you rent it from? Hertz.
723, 93.
Want to call my mom? Sorry? Can you call my mom, please? Not right now. If you're being honest with us, should get you out of here shortly. After we're done this.
Cherokee to 760, code 4.
Not at the moment, no. Why do you need a lawyer if what you're telling us is true?
Because you guys are about to arrest me.
Why?
2318.
Sorry?
I know the drill. You said you smell pot, so we're going to search the car. So you're going to arrest me and detain me.
Is there pot in there? How much? No. Just, no. Stop. Stop. Go back.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I was going to the car.
Stay on the ground!
Cut down, cut down! Hands by your back! Hands by your back! Get the car! Hands by your back! Get up! Hands by your back! 60 or 715. Get out! Get out!
Sergeant Drake moved to detain him. That's when the knight detonated. Dolce twisted, lunged back into the driver's seat and jammed the car into gear. The engine screamed. The sedan surged forward. Officer Buren half inside the window, one arm braced, one hand fighting for the shifter, legs scraping the asphalt as the car gathered speed. In less than 10 seconds, they were 1,000 feet from the stop, metal and momentum locked together.
Your no unit, what unit was that? Was it 16 or 17? See. I'm clear 17 and 29. Hickory at Harmony, Hickory at Harmony.
760.
2319.
That person in the car! Get that person in the car! Hickory around!
Body cam audio captures the panic threading into command. Stop the car, last chance. Inside that bucking cabin, Buren saw Dolce digging, reaching for something he couldn't see. While he himself tried to slam the selector into park, the car fishtailed, skidding. Buren drew, warned, and then fired into the moving vehicle. Round struck, the sedan lurched, veered hard, and hammered into a guardrail with a final ruinous shudder. Then silence, broken only by gasps and the crackle of radio calls. Officer Joe Buren, likely mortally injured in the initial bursts of acceleration and impact, was rushed to the hospital. He did not make it. Annie Dolce, struck by multiple rounds, died shortly afterward at a nearby facility. 2 men, 2 families, and a city now staring at the aftermath of 60 seconds that unraveled beyond anyone's control. In the weeks that followed, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation conducted an exhaustive review, 251 pages, charting frames, distances, velocities, statements. Their conclusion: Officer Buren's use of deadly force was justified under state law. Had Dolce survived, prosecutors said he would have faced charges including felony murder, aggravated assault, obstruction, and more, each tied to the decision to flee by force. There were no municipal settlements, but the town did what towns do. Neighbors opened their wallets. A community donation drive raised roughly $90,000 for Buren's family. For Sergeant Drake, the survivor's math is simple and merciless. In a quiet moment, he said Joe Buren saved his life, and for everyone else, the lesson is etched into the guardrail at Harmony Lake Drive. Some stops are ink and signatures. Others are fault lines you can't see until they split. One car, one choice, 1 second, and the night is never routine again.
You're gonna get booted out of here.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Enough.
We're fine.
No, you're not a tough guy. Hurry up. I'll promise you that.
Hurry up. He's pretty tough.
Not that.
No, he's not.
Not that.
He's not. He's not tough.
No, he's pretty tough.
He's not
tough.
You're not tough.
Hey,
You're not tough.
Let's get going.
Get going.
Or you can play behind us all, and you can take all the time you want.
It's literally golf. You're not tough.
This is golf. This is not golf.
It's not.
You can stand there 15 minutes.
You can't even. You guys can't even stand and tee your ball up, man.
Yeah, no, he's teeing up, man. That's fine. He's not teeing it up. He's standing there.
Do we need to get the police out here?
No, we don't need police. We're not.
Okay, then let's get going here.
Let's go. Pick your shit up and get going. This is not fun.
A round of golf in Canada took an ugly turn when patience ran out. A man in a loud shirt, visibly intoxicated, was accused of holding up the game. Tensions escalated, insults flew, and before long he ripped off his glasses and charged another golfer. Within seconds he was floundering in a pond.
Try about it. Try about it. I'm going to try about it. You I'm a play. Try about it.
Trev,
Buddy, you're going to get... I don't give a... Badly.
Good.
Let's go, man. Buddy. Oh. You don't want to go.
You want to stop?
You don't want to go.
I'm not filming that.
Hey, man. Hey. Hey.
Off to a good start, buddy.
I told you. Man, leave him alone.
You want another?
Came at me. Leave him alone, man.
I got it all on record.
It's around the goal.
I got it all on record.
Undeterred, he returned for more, only to be taken down repeatedly.
Go, guys! In there, like, just like, enough! Are you still cheering on me? Enough! Get out!
The entire scene ended in chaos, but also in comedy, with onlookers joking, "Off to a good start, buddy." In Italy, a cyclist furious at a truck driver unleashed his anger in the middle of the street. When pedestrians tried to intervene, he turned on them too. But the bizarre twist came when one of the men grabbed the bike itself and tossed it over a fence. Without his prized possession, the cyclist's tirade fizzled instantly. In Suzhou Industrial Park, icy roads combined with an elevated highway section created the perfect recipe for disaster. Cars slid uncontrollably, smashing into one another in rapid succession. Within moments, more than 15 vehicles were tangled in a chaotic pileup.
天哪，我操！搞大了，搞大了，这下。 我操！怎么突然间这么严重？
Drivers who saw the wrecks ahead had no chance to stop. Miraculously, no fatalities were reported, though several people were hospitalized with injuries. On August 26, 2015, viewers in Virginia were watching a routine morning broadcast from WDBJ, a local CBS affiliate. Reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward were conducting a live interview at Smith Mountain Lake. What seemed like just another segment turned into a tragedy witnessed by thousands in real time. Their former colleague, Vester Lee Flanagan, known professionally as Bryce Williams, approached the crew armed with a handgun. Without warning, he opened fire. Parker and Ward were killed instantly, while interviewee Vicky Gardner was shot but survived. Ward's fallen camera captured the chaotic aftermath, a horrifying scene that left viewers stunned. Flanagan had a troubled past in journalism, with a history of conflicts, erratic behavior, and accusation of discrimination.
Was gay or not. He had heard some comments over the headphones in the studio when he was anchoring, and some other times where they were making fun of him or making comments about him. You know, zoom in on the gay boy or have him turn his head or something like that. And he really took exception to that.
He had been fired from WDBJ 2 years earlier after numerous altercations, including with Parker and Ward. Consumed by anger, he targeted them specifically. Hours after the attack, he posted his own footage of the shooting to social media before taking his own life as police closed in.
Opening arguments, and I said, it's opening statements, not opening arguments. He came over and he started pretty quickly yelling at me. And when I say yelling, screaming, you're not my news director, you're not my general manager, and on and on and on. And I was a little intimidated and nervous.
The murders of Parker and Ward sent shockwaves through the media industry, highlighting workplace tensions, mental health struggles, and the dangers faced by journalists in the field. For their families, colleagues, and viewers, it remains one of the darkest moments ever broadcast on live television. A Walmart encounter escalated when a customer refused to show a receipt at the exit. The employee completely lost control, shouting and raging in what many called a meltdown. The customer managed to walk away without harm, but the employee's actions were so unhinged that viewers questioned whether she should ever work in customer service again. At first glance, the footage looks like a recording glitch, black streaks flickering across the sky. But in reality, those streaks are swarms of mosquitoes, billions of them, moving like dark rivers through the air. While the sight is unsettling enough, the true horror lies in what they carry. Mosquitoes are the deadliest creatures on Earth, responsible for over 1 million human deaths each year. Next, one of the most disturbing videos came from a TikTok user named Jeanette. In the first clip, she is visibly terrified, pleading with an unseen intruder to leave her apartment.
Can I help him? Remember? We're friends? No, I don't remember. I don't remember. Please get out. Please get out of my apartment. Please go of my apartment.
What's even stranger is that just before she escapes, the front door can be seen opening slightly on its own, adding an extra layer of mystery to the already horrifying situation. Some speculated a ghost was involved, while others believe someone outside had opened the door to help her get away. But that wasn't the end. In a follow-up video, Jeanette tries to relax at home, cuddling her cat. Then she hears strange noises from her bedroom. Investigating nervously, she films the bed, only to discover fresh indentations pressing down into the sheets, as if someone invisible was sitting there. Was it another intruder hiding, or something paranormal lurking in the apartment? Either way, it's no wonder Jeanette shared her story, because almost no one would want to live alone after footage like that. Another clip posted by Reddit user Brom10 captures a scene that looks like something out of a horror film. While driving at night, he noticed a strange gathering in a park and pulled out his camera. At first, it's difficult to make out what has his attention, but as the headlights pass, the truth comes into focus. A group of over 30 figures, all dressed head to toe in black, silently standing in the darkness. They don't move, they don't speak, they just stand there, clustered together in the night, with no explanation and no clear purpose. The encounter has sparked endless speculation online. Was it a cult ritual? A group staging some kind of eerie performance? Or was it simply a prank designed to terrify whoever stumbled across them? Whatever the reason, the sight of dozens of faceless figures gathered in the shadows is something you'd never want to find yourself driving past alone. The Shanghai Tower, one of the tallest skyscrapers in the world, is normally a symbol of modern power, but in late 2023, rare freezing rains transformed it into something out of a science fiction nightmare. Cameras capture the entire tower coated in ice, looming like a frozen monolith above the city. For the first time in more than 150 years, Shanghai had frozen over, a sight both mesmerizing and apocalyptic. May 24th, 2020, 12-year-old Alejandro Prado was hiking with his family near Espormenor, a village in the Brenta Dolomites in northern Italy. The outing was simple, a quiet walk on mountain trails, but when Alejandro wandered a short distance from the group to collect pine cones, he disturbed something unexpected.
Vieni Ale. Ehi, vai. Sì, la sto facendo, vieni. Non dargli la schiena. Non dargli la schiena, lui fa I cavoli suoi. Vieni Ale, vieni.
Mamma. Mamma.
Guarda che il vento. Stai calmo.
Hidden in the brush was a Eurasian brown bear. Normally shy and reclusive, this one had been resting. Startled awake, it rose and began following Alejandro. The boy walked downhill, trying to stay calm, while the bear stalked just steps behind. His family screamed in panic, powerless to help. The boy's small frame against a towering animal was a chilling sight. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the bear stopped. It turned back into the trees, vanishing as quickly as it had come. The entire encounter lasted less than a minute, but to those watching, it felt endless. Experts later said Alejandro's composure likely saved him. By walking steadily and not breaking into a run, he avoided triggering the bear's chase instinct. His family continued their hike, shaken but unharmed. The image of a child calmly walking with a predator at his heels, however, is something none of them will ever forget.
Hey, how's it going? You got the PlayStation? All right, everything works with it?
I got 2 controllers with an extra. My brother just gave me one of his controllers.
Oh, okay.
You got the cash, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's good with it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I appreciate it.
It's all up in there.
Can I check it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna step off the side here just so I not get ran over.
Okay.
What looked like a casual parking lot sale turned out to be a setup. An undercover officer arranged to buy a PlayStation, only for the sellers to suddenly pull out machetes and a firearm. In one terrifying moment, a blade swung inches from his head. It was a trap designed to rob victims for a few $100s, and it could have easily ended in bloodshed. May 26, 2013, off the coast of Nigeria, the tugboat Jaskin 4 was carrying out what should have been a routine job, stabilizing an oil tanker in the Atlantic. But in an instant, something went wrong. Whether it was a rogue wave or a sudden mechanical failure, the ship capsized violently, plunging 100 feet to the seafloor and landing upside down. All 11 crew members were presumed dead. 3 days later, South African saturation divers arrived to recover bodies. They expected silence and lifeless wreckage. Instead, in the darkness of the overturned ship, one diver's camera captured something unbelievable, a human hand. At first, he thought it was a corpse drifting with the current, but when the hand grabbed his, the diver recoiled in shock. Against every odd, someone was still alive.
What's that? Okay. All right, you found one, yeah? He's alive. He's alive. Okay, keep him there. Keep him there. All right. Just. All right. Just hold him there, okay? Keep him there. Calm, okay? All right. Just reassure him. Pat him on the shoulder. Okay.
Right, let's get that head on his head so we can reduce the CO2, please. Just want you to keep calm, okay? Are you feeling okay? Are you sore? Have you got any injuries? Okay. What's your name? Harrison. Okay, Harrison. My name is Colby. Again, I'm going to bring you home, okay? And the diver that helped you now, his name is Nico. Okay, that's Nico, okay? You mustn't take your hat off, okay? You must just breathe nicely, yeah? Okay. Alright, let's go. You hold your umbilical and you listen to me, okay? Alright, we're going now. Put your head underwater and breathe comfortably, okay?
It was Harrison O'Kane, the ship's cook. He had been in the bathroom when the vessel flipped. In the chaos, he groped through flooded passages until he stumbled into a tiny 4-foot-high air pocket inside the engineer's office. There, in total blackness, surrounded by the bodies of his crewmates, Harrison clung to life for nearly 60 hours. He endured the stench of death, the sounds of creaking metal, and the terror knowing the air was running out. National Geographic later confirmed that an air pocket of that size could only sustain a human for about 56 hours before becoming toxic with carbon dioxide. Harrison lasted almost exactly that long. Rescuers fitted him with a diving helmet and slowly brought him up, carefully managing decompression so he wouldn't die from the rapid pressure change. He survived, the only crew member who did. Later, Harrison revealed that in the darkness, he repeated Psalm 54, the same passage his wife had texted him earlier that day. It was prayer, faith, and sheer willpower that gave him the strength not to panic.
The lights went off and the vessel capsized. And I was there trying to, and the WC fell on my head until my head. And I was there struggling on how I can be able to open the door. When I was right there in the water, when I have access to nothing, right down inside the water, I thought of my family, thought of my mom, my brothers, my wife. I have access to none of them, no way to get to them. And I was right there in the water and I know I'm going to die. But the only thing I could put my hope and trust in and my confidence in is God. I don't know it's up to 3 days because I was thinking it's just a day, maybe it's getting to the evening. I was on there, keep on praying. When I prayed for some time, I stopped. And I said, God, let that will be done as it is in heaven, because I have tried my best. And I have called on you and you have never failed me before. And you will never fail me at all in my life. So as I said that, to me, if death comes, let it come. If death did not come, I know He's going to rescue me. So as I was there like that.
While the other 11 men perished, Harrison's survival became known as a miracle, a man entombed beneath the sea who somehow walked out alive. Reddit user SakiGate9281 posted footage from a home security system that began with the blaring sound of an alarm, but the real shock came seconds later. On screen, a pale, ghostly figure glides across the yard, moving with an unsettling smoothness. Stranger still, it isn't just a blur. This figure actually casts a shadow as it moves, something you almost never see in so-called ghost videos. That detail alone has made many people rethink what they're watching. Could it be a trick of the light? Fog drifted past? A glitch in the camera sensor? Maybe, but if it was just a glitch, why does the figure have weight, depth, and even a shadow? For now, the video remains unexplained, and for the homeowners, that means many more sleepless nights. Road rage boiled over during a traffic altercation. Two men exchanged blows, but once separated, one stormed to his car and pulled out a large wrench. He then smashed it into the other man's vehicle, striking with brutal force. At that point, even the cameraman decided the fight wasn't worth sticking around for. January 7th, 2020, Rockmart, Georgia, a small town lined with railroad tracks where most days slip by without much more than the sound of freight cars echoing through the neighborhoods. But on that ordinary winter afternoon, something unfolded that no one could have predicted. Officer Andy Anderson, a 16-year veteran of the Polk County Police Department, was responding to what should have been just another burglary call. A report of a man breaking into a home on College Street, not far from the tracks. When Anderson arrived, he spotted 18-year-old Jaden Mose carrying what looked like a television, arms full of stolen property. Mose bolted, and Anderson gave chase. The pursuit wound its way through backyards and into the forgotten space along the railroad, a place many locals use as a shortcut, but one that can just as easily turn deadly. Anderson's 360-degree body cam captured every step as he closed in on the suspect, but in that tunnel vision, all his focus locked on Mose. He never noticed the danger bearing down on him. A Norfolk Southern freight train, hundreds of tons of steel moving at full speed. Its horn cut the air, but drowned in the noise and adrenaline. Anderson didn't hear it. The collision came in seconds. The train slammed into him, sending his body off the tracks and into nearby brush. His camera kept rolling, capturing the eerie silence, broken only by his groans as he called out for help. Rescue crews arrived to find him barely conscious with 6 broken ribs, a shattered elbow, a fractured shoulder, and a severe concussion. He spent nearly a week in the hospital before being released on January 12th. Mose managed to escape that day, but was arrested just 6 days later. Against all odds, Officer Anderson recovered and returned to duty. His survival became a stark reminder of how quickly adrenaline can blind even a veteran officer. How tunnel vision on a suspect can leave you completely unaware of the real danger closing in. He never heard the horn, never saw the train. 1 second he was running, the next he was broken in the cold brush beside the tracks. January 31st, 2020, St. Petersburg, Russia. The Sports and Concert Complex, once a Soviet landmark built in 1979, was in the final stages of demolition to make way for a new ice hockey venue. Its shell loomed huge, 193 meters in diameter, towering 40 meters tall, with room once for 25,000 fans. But that morning, as workers dismantled its steel roof, the past came crashing down. Among the crew was 29-year-old Matvey Kucherov, tasked with helping remove support beams while cranes cut through the framework. As cables snapped and supports were lowered, Matvey tried to reach the safety cage. He never made it. Without proper safety lines, without warnings, the roof gave way all at once. In seconds, thousands of tons of steel and concrete collapsed, swallowing Matvey in the rubble. Rescue crews found his body hours later. He had no chance of survival. Later reports painted a grim picture. Workers were paid the equivalent of barely $100 a day, told to cut corners, skip protocols, and get it done. The crane operator reportedly didn't even know men were still beneath the structure when the final cuts were made. It was negligence stacked on negligence. Public outrage forced prosecutors to act. 2 foremen and 1 contractor executive were eventually convicted, but the punishment was light. Suspended sentences, probation, and a financial payout of 2.7 million rubles to Matvey's family. No prison time, just numbers on paper for a young life lost. The arena's concrete dust settled into silence. A landmark was gone, a worker was dead, and the story became another reminder of what happens when safety is treated as an inconvenience. Buildings fall, workers pay the price, and families are left with nothing but ashes and unanswered questions. This chilling video takes us to October 31st at an amusement park in Rio Preto de Eva, Brazil, where two young girls just 11 and 13 years old boarded a giant Ferris wheel for what was supposed to be a night of fun. But neither of them wore seatbelts, and that small oversight nearly became fatal. Midway through the ride, a mechanical failure caused their seat to flip violently. The older girl plummeted more than 20 feet to the ground, while the younger clung desperately to a bar dangling in the air. Witnesses screamed, powerless to help, as the terrifying scene unfolded. Authorities immediately shut down the park, and both children were rushed to medical care. Miraculously, both survived, but for every parent watching that video, the thought is the same: just how close these girls came to dying at what should have been an innocent Halloween ride. In another heart-stopping video, a family found themselves trapped in a flash flood after driving onto what seemed like a normal road. Within seconds, the torrent swallowed their vehicle, leaving them stranded as rushing water battered the doors. The crane was the only thing that stood between life and death. It held fast against the raging current, pulling the family to safety as terrified onlookers sprayed from the sidelines. Relief swept the crowd when everyone made it out alive. It's a stark reminder just how fast nature can overwhelm us. One wrong turn, one sudden storm, and an entire family's fate can rest on a single rescue. TikTok user Kills25 uploaded a video from inside their quiet living room that begins normally enough. The space is still and silent, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, without warning, the curtains start to shift, pulling open as if something on the other side wants a view inside. The homeowner rushes to close them, only for the fabric to slide open again on its own, this time even more deliberate. The back and forth continues, creating a scene that feels like a tug-of-war with something invisible. Some might say it was a draft, but drafts don't repeatedly tug at fabric in the same direction. Others suggested air vents, but the homeowner insists nothing like this had ever happened before. The unsettling thought remains: was it just a breeze, or did someone or something want to peek into the house that night? Passengers on a city bus were left terrified when a man began screaming threats outside, vowing to kill anyone inside. He eventually smashed his way in, but to everyone's surprise, quickly backed down once confronted.
Do you want to die? Oh, bro.
His erratic behavior suggested drugs or mental illness, but fortunately, his rage dissolved before anyone was hurt. In Medellin, Colombia, witnesses watched in horror as a tourist helicopter carrying 6 people lifted off a rooftop, only to spin violently out of control seconds later. The chopper plunged down the side of the building, clipping a communication tower before hanging nearly upside down in midair. From the ground, bystanders screamed that everyone on board was doomed, and yet, against all odds, all 6 passengers survived. For those who saw the crash unfold, the sight of that aircraft tumbling through the sky is something they'll never forget. Imagine standing in a grocery store or sitting in your living room when suddenly the ground beneath you begins to convulse with the force of 32 atomic bombs. That's what happened during the 7.0 magnitude earthquake that struck Alaska. Security cameras captured shelves toppling, ceilings shaking, and entire buildings quivering under the strain. In those seconds, survival hinged on little more than luck and instinct. Seismologists warn that events like these are becoming more frequent and more powerful, and the footage from Alaska feels like a terrifying preview of what may lie ahead. In Uruguay, 2 men tried to rob a delivery driver, but they picked the wrong target. The driver pulled a machete from his bike and immediately fought back, chasing one of the attackers to the ground and striking him with the flat of the blade. It was enough to send both muggers running, lucky to escape without serious injury. TikTok user Adam Tristan filmed what should have been an ordinary evening in his bedroom. The video starts quietly, but as the seconds pass, something in the corner becomes impossible to ignore.
Lo vi, jefe.
Parte ahí por la... ¿Será que me acerco?
Sí.
From the crack of a small closet, a pale face emerges, staring, unmoving. The expression doesn't change. It doesn't blink. It just watches. Moments later, the mirrored closet door creaks open all by itself, as if inviting whatever was inside to step forward. No further context was given, and that's part of what makes it so disturbing. Was it a prank? Someone hiding? Or something that doesn't belong in our world? With no answers provided, the silence that follows is even more unsettling than the moment itself.
Shut up! He loves you, I love you. Get on! Get out! No, sir. Satan! I love you. Hail Satan! I love you. Jesus loves you. Please sit down.
A preacher boarded a bus in the US, loudly declaring his message to all on board. Instead of listening, several passengers began chanting "Hail Satan" in mockery, escalating the chaos. The preacher refused to stop, leading to an argument with the driver.
If you don't stop it, you get off now. Yeah, okay. No worries. No problem now. That's a little speech. There's a time and a place. Yeah, I love you all. God loves you. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Hey, both of you can get off right now. I'm not getting off because he religion down my throat. I want you to be quiet because you also fighting, so if you don't stop the fuck you shot you?
Eventually, he was asked to get off. Neither side backed down. A clash of faith and defiance in a confined space. Wildlife biologist Forrest Galante, known for his daring adventures, was filming in the Florida Everglades when lightning struck alarmingly close.
All right, so honest gear review time. When I'm out here in a place like this, in a remote swamp where the thunder's cracking off and there's alligators cruising around, there's a couple things that I absolutely cannot live without. One of those is a GPS. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you should always have a GPS, and I used to carry a big, bulky handheld one, and I got hit. I felt it, yeah. I got hit. That hurt. Yeah, it just hurt. Shit, really? Yeah.
Reviewing the footage later, he saw just how near the bolt had been, but in that moment, he felt it. His body jolted, his voice breaking as he muttered, "I got hit." Galante survived, but the strike left him shaken. It was a sobering reminder that no matter how skilled or prepared you are, the raw forces in nature don't care. In Queensland, Australia, thieves staged an almost cinematic crime at 3 a.m. Using an excavator, they smashed through barriers, tore an ATM from the ground, and loaded it up, all in less than a minute. Surveillance footage captured every move, from the metal claw ripping into the bank's facade to the criminals driving off with the machine. Police later recovered both the ATM and the excavator abandoned near a school. It was fast, it was bold, and it showed just how much damage a determined crew can do when heavy machinery is in the wrong hands. December 19th, 2024, Blacksburg, Virginia. For Andy Earthman, a longtime Uber driver nearing 60, it was just another shift behind the wheel. He chatted politely with his passenger, sharing small stories about cars he'd owned and long commutes he'd driven. It felt like any other ride until it wasn't.
I've bought cars that were 10 years old with 150,000 miles on them before. I bought a 10-year-old Honda with 150,000 miles. I bought it cheap. I drove it for 5 years just to go back to work. Yeah. Just to go back to, because it was good. It was a little Civic. It got really good gas mileage. Yeah. And I used it just to go back and forth to work. My wife and I, we carpooled. Yeah. So we just back and forth. After 5 years, I got rid of it. I sold it for what I paid for it.
When Andy made a simple left turn into traffic, another driver, Martin McGraw, decided to take it personally, convinced he'd been cut off. McGraw's irritation spiraled into rage. He followed Andy, pulled up alongside, and escalated a minor traffic moment into something far darker.
There you are, my friend.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Head to your pickup on Snyder Lane. Turn left to stay on Cardinal Court, then turn right on Tall Oaks Drive.
Huh? Whoa! I'm gonna call the police right now, man. I'm gonna call the police right now. You damaged my car, I will sue you. You damaged my car. You damaged my car? Back off me. Back off. Oh my God!
Dashcam footage captured McGraw leaping from his car, slamming into Andy's vehicle, and physically trying to rip him out of the driver's seat. Right there in the middle of the road, in broad daylight, Andy, nearly twice McGraw's age, was struck in the face, shaken and terrified. Yet he stayed calm, shut the door, and drove away to safety before calling police.
Good luck to you, man. Did you witness that? That man just attacked me. He punched me in the face. You just assaulted me, man. That's assault and battery. No, you didn't, man. What you did is you punched me in the face. You punched me in the face. Do you see this dash cam in my car? Do you see this dash cam in my car? Do you see the dash cam in my car? Good luck, man.
On January 10th, 2025, McGraw was arrested on charges of assault and battery, but instead of taking responsibility, he filed a counter-complaint accusing Andy of provoking him and even claiming damage to his glasses. Uber suspended Andy's account while the legal mess dragged on, cutting off his income while he fought to clear his name. By May 2025, the truth finally stood tall. Andy was acquitted of all wrongdoing. McGraw was convicted, sentenced to probation, and ordered into anger management. Still, the ordeal had already cost Andy months of lost wages and endless stress. What should have been just another Uber ride became proof of how fragile safety can be on the road. A single turn, a single stranger's anger, and suddenly a working man's entire livelihood was on the line. Andy's calm saved him, but it should never have come to that. Another eerie video surfaced on TikTok, this time from user CCE Pedro. Security cameras had been recording a quiet neighborhood in the dead of night when something unexpected appeared. From the corner of the frame, a translucent, human-shaped figure began to drift across the road. It wasn't moving like a person. It glided slowly, its form fading in and out against the darkness. At first glance, some assumed it was just a passerby walking in poor lighting, but the way the figure seemed to shimmer and the unnatural smoothness of its movement left others convinced it was something paranormal. Whether it was the restless spirit of someone tied to the area, or simply an illusion created by shadows and camera artifacts, the figure's sudden appearance unsettled thousands online. Watching it back, it's easy to understand why. Few things are as unnerving as a human silhouette that shouldn't be there. In China, a woman stormed into Tiffany's store and unleashed destruction. Employees fled as she smashed displays, jewelry cases, and anything she could reach. Trapped inside, she caused thousands in damage before police finally arrived. The reason for a violent outburst remains unclear. Back in 2016, a night shift employee at a school in Buenos Aires, Argentina, decided to film his rounds. The building was empty, the hallways echoing with silence. For several minutes, nothing seemed unusual, just the eerie calm of an old school at night. But then, while investigating one of the classrooms, the unthinkable happened.
Che, boludo, ¿escuchaste eso? Claudio. Shh, ¿escuchaste eso, boludo? ¿Qué? Allá en el aula hay como un ruido, boludo. Un toque, boludo, dale. Boludo, acá hay ruido en toda la escuela. Pero sí, boludo, ¿no escuchaste? ¿Ves a escuchar? ¿Escuchás, boludo? ¿No escuchás? Shh, nada, boludo. Mira, ¿dónde, boludo? Por acá era. No, boludo, ¿viste eso? Ah, boludo. Aguanta, boludo, aguanta. Aguanta.
The chair slid several feet across the floor, completely on its own. The reaction of the men filming was immediate. They bolted from the room in panic. Some skeptics have suggested wires or magnets could have been used to pull the chair, but if it was a prank, the terrified screams and genuine rush for the exit didn't seem staged. To this day, it remains one of the more convincing pieces of poltergeist activity caught on camera, and it's easy to see why neither man was eager to keep filming after that. On a crowded Indian highway, a reckless driver drew attention by standing on his seat, both hands off the handlebars, but in seconds, the stunt turned catastrophic.
सभी को मैं बुला रहा हूँ, आजा भाई। वो सब पीछे छूट गए हैं, इसलिए मैं थोड़ा गाड़ी भी स्लो चला रहा हूँ, अपना अकेले मजे लेते लेते। अभी मैं बढ़ गया आगे भाई, आगे ट्रक दिख रही है और कुछ किया जाए, मैं ना सोच।
As he swerved near a truck, the front bumper clipped his bike. The impact wedged the handlebars, throwing the rider hard onto the pavement as the motorcycle crumpled beneath him. The clip went viral, with viewers slamming his lack of awareness. The rider walked away, but the message was clear. One moment of showing off can end in disaster. It begins with astonishing footage. A small plane has just crash landed in the waters of Oak Island, California, but the landing was in the end. It was only the start. As the cockpit floods, rescuers race across the surf, one on a jet ski, another paddling on a surfboard. The clock is ticking. The aircraft is sinking. Then, suddenly, a pair of white sneakers break the surface. The pilot, gasping for air, is dragged feet first out of the shattered cockpit. He clings to consciousness, dazed, shaken, unsure if he's even alive, but the ordeal isn't over. He's lifted onto a boogie board, tethered to the jet ski, and pulled through the churning waves toward shore, where paramedics wait, unsure what condition they'll find him in.
There was an air pocket still in the plane, and he was trying to stay above the waterline.
He was very visibly shaken and just kind of dazed almost.
Inside the wreck, he had been surviving on nothing but a shrinking air pocket, his head pressed to the ceiling, trying to stay above the rising waterline. Any longer, and it would have been too late. The men who reached him, firefighters Chad Bice, Chris Dunham, and Austin Lancaster, are hailed as heroes. But listen closely, the pilot himself is being called one too. His name is Mark Finkelstein, and when his engine failed, he made a split-second choice. Ditched the crippled plane into the ocean instead of the crowded beach packed with families that sunny afternoon. Later, he admitted it was a beautiful weekend. There were lots of people down there. Landing on the beach was out of the question. One desperate decision, a crash into the waves, and a miracle of survival that could have so easily ended in disaster. On June 1st, a family's security camera captured a horrifying head-on bus crash. Investigators later revealed the white bus had been speeding before losing control. The impact was devastating. 3 lives lost instantly, with 30 more passengers injured. The sound of the collision echoed through the neighborhood, drawing bystanders who rushed to pull survivors from the wreckage. A chilling reminder that road disasters don't just happen, they are caused, and sometimes by nothing more than a driver pushing too hard. On April 30th, 1993, women's tennis was shaken to its core. Monica Seles, the #1 female player in the world, was in Hamburg, Germany, competing in the Citizen Cup quarterfinals. Known for her dominance, she had already collected 9 Grand Slam titles and spent 178 weeks ranked at the very top. At only 19 years old, Seles appeared unstoppable until a tragedy struck. During a courtside break, Sulla sat down to rest, unaware that danger was lurking just a few feet away. From the stands, a man named Gunter Parche, obsessed with Salas's rival Steffi Graf, rushed forward and drove a knife between her shoulder blades. The crowd gasped as Sela screamed in agony, collapsing in her chair. She was rushed to the hospital, but the damage had been done. Authorities later revealed that Parche's motive was disturbingly simple. He wanted Graf to reclaim the #1 spot. Declared mentally unstable, he was sentenced only to probation and psychiatric treatment, a punishment Sela condemned as a disgrace. Though her physical wound healed in weeks, the emotional scars ran deep. She battled depression and an eating disorder, and it would take over 2 years before she returned to the court. While Sullins went on to win more titles, including the 1996 Australian Open, she was never quite the same. Her career had been violently derailed by a senseless act, leaving the tennis world to wonder just how much more greatness she might have achieved. Another older but unsettling clip uploaded in 2015 shows what at first looks like nothing more than a dreary city skyline. A cameraman was focused on a tall skyscraper when, without warning, something massive came into view. Slowly drifting beside the building was a colossal pyramid-shaped object. The sheer size of it is what startled viewers most. It looked impossibly large, hovering right alongside the skyscraper as though observing it. Then, just as calmly as it arrived, the video ended, offering no further clues. Some say it could have been a strange kite or balloon caught from a unique angle. Others believe it was one of the clearest captures of a UFO in recent memory. With no follow-up and no official explanation, the mystery remains wide open. But for those who watched, the image of a pyramid floating beside a skyscraper is not easily forgotten. TikTok user Daria M. Solis shared a short but chilling clip from her home security system. While she was resting in her bedroom, the motion detector alerted her to activity in the living room. Expecting nothing, she checked the footage and froze. Against the far wall, a dark humanoid shadow appeared briefly, leaning out as if to peek into the room before vanishing again. It was fast, easy to miss unless you paused at the exact frame, but once seen, it was impossible to forget. Some argued it might have been a bug crossing the lens, or even a trick of the light, yet the way the shape seemed to mimic a face, complete with distinct movement, left others convinced it was something more. Whether it was a spirit, an intruder, or something harder to explain, the idea that someone, or something, was watching from the corner is enough to make anyone lose sleep. In another meltdown caught on camera, a woman destroyed property inside a gym after being told she needed a membership to work out. She screamed at staff, threatened to kill them, and accused them of attacking her. The truth? She'd simply been denied entry over a $15 fee. March 2024, San Mateo de Huanchor, Peru. Drivers had no idea they were seconds away from disaster. Dashcam footage shows cars surrounding a mountain road when the earth itself suddenly begins to give way. Rocks break loose, tumbling down with terrifying force. The question is, would anyone make it out alive? An 81-year-old motorist disregarded the gate at a railroad crossing on August 18, 2025 in Struth on the Greater Poland Voivodeship, resulting in another automobile and train accident. He drove his vehicle over the barrier and came to a stop in the center of the tracks. The motorist reportedly survived the impact and was sent to the hospital. The reason he did this remains a mystery. Perhaps the car stalled, he became alarmed, or he panicked. I couldn't locate a formal explanation for the reason. This case brings to light a persistent issue. There's a greater chance of major accidents because many individuals still ignore the signals at railroad crossings. Two friends in Linsheng, Yunnan province thought they were in for a calm fishing trip. The water was still, the setting was peaceful, until the mountain above them suddenly came alive. Without warning, massive rocks began crashing down around them, sending waves splashing across the water. The fishermen froze as boulders just missed their heads, tumbling into the river below. The peaceful outing had turned into chaos in seconds. At Kruger National Park, a man did the unthinkable. With lions only feet away, he calmly steps out of his vehicle, ignoring every warning from fellow tourists. What's worse, his children were still inside the truck. Cameras roll as he strolls closer, looking for the perfect shot. But would the lions let him walk away so easily? In a grainy video, a man lies motionless on the ground as a towering elephant looms over him. His desperate gamble: pretend to be dead.
Ramper, faut pas t'asseoir, faut te coucher, couche-toi, colle tes bras, faut coller tes bras, voilà, reste comme ça, rampe, faut ramper, rampe. Il va te blesser, faut ramper, rampe. Fais comme si tu fais 4 pattes, faut ramper. Faut ramper, rampe.
Il va le soulever avec son pied. Il va le soulever.
Faut ramper.
Ahmed, il te pousse pas partir.
Faut quitter la rampe, faut ramper.
Ahmed, pardon.
Tu sais pas ramper, faut ramper. Quitte-la.
For a moment, the elephant appears fooled, hesitating, even lifting the man's bike and striking him with it. The animal's sheer size made every second feel like an eternity. Somehow, the man escaped with nothing more than bruises and a broken bike. In the West, drivers have faced a bizarre new danger: sword-wielding individuals. One man dressed like an anime character charged into the street with a samurai blade, slashing at passing cars. He screamed incoherently and swung wildly until pedestrians finally intervened, tackling him to the ground before anyone was seriously injured. Over on the UFO subreddit, another user reported an unnerving discovery while testing the slow motion feature on his new phone. He had been filming children playing at a park, expecting nothing more than a fun experiment, but when he replayed the video later on a big screen, he noticed something darting across the sky. At first, it was almost invisible, just a blur in the background, but on closer inspection, the object was moving far too quickly to be a bird or insect, especially considering the rest of the video was slowed down. This meant whatever he captured was traveling at an incredible speed in real time. Viewers debated endlessly. Was it a bug, a drone, or something not of this world? Regardless of the explanation, the eerie part is that nobody noticed it in the moment, only the camera caught it. Sometimes the scariest things are the ones you don't see until later. A family had a terrifying experience on August 16, 2025, in the northern part of Mexico City, when a truck carrying wood failed to apply its brakes, leaped the curb, and almost hit them. In the video, the mother stumbles and falls as pieces of the truck break off, while the father runs for the infant in his arms. She was ultimately spared from being struck by that fall. Before coming to a stop, the truck struck electrical lines in a concrete pole. Firefighters and emergency personnel rescued the driver, who was caught in the debris. Later, authorities affirmed that he is safe. The woman was hurt as well, but she is now stable after receiving medical care. Flooding in Jiang province has been severe, but one scooter ride wasn't about to be stopped. In footage that stunned viewers, a man rides straight into waist-deep water, his scooter somehow sputtering forward. Completely submerged, it pushed through as if nothing was wrong. Against all odds, the little machine kept running, raising the question, what kind of scooter could possibly survive that? In a bizarre chain of events, a truck's tire suddenly tore free, bursting into flames as it rocketed down the street. But this wasn't the end of it. The blazing wheel launched straight through the entrance of a busy paint shop, scattering terrified customers. And in that moment, with the fire still burning, one man made a choice that could cost him everything. On August 25, 2025 in Terma, a district in the province of Samsun, Turkey, tragedy struck when the driver of a passenger bus ran over two people standing beside a parked pickup truck. Both victims were rushed to the hospital but did not survive their injuries. What shocked many viewers was the driver's apparent indifference at the moment of impact, raising serious questions about his awareness and conduct. Following the incident, the driver was taken into custody as authorities launched a full investigation into the case. What begins as an ordinary morning turns into a nightmare in seconds as two customers walk into a shop. The heavy rolling door creaks and groans. Then, without warning, it gives way, slamming downward like a guillotine. One man is directly in its path. Will he move in time or be crushed beneath? One of the most discussed clips on the UFO subreddit came from a user in Porto, Portugal. He originally thought he was filming a single metallic sphere drifting away at low altitude, but when he reviewed the footage later, the discovery was far stranger.
What the I'm a baller.
Not only was the main object visible, gleaming and reflecting sunlight as it floated in a perfectly straight path, but zoomed analysis revealed several more spheres in the background, darting across the sky with unnatural speed. These weren't the usual blurry dots or camera glitches that skeptics often point to. They looked solid, moved with purpose, and most unsettling of all, they appeared coordinated. Some say balloons or birds might explain it, but the way the objects caught the light and maintained formation doesn't quite add up. For many viewers, this was one of the clearest and most disturbing captures of a possible UAP in recent memory. On the morning of August 23, 2025 in Sao Paulo, Brazil, two men arriving at a clinic for lab tests were suddenly confronted by a group attempting a robbery. The assailants approached aggressively, announcing a holdup. One of the victims, a motorcyclist, fought back physically, discovering that the robbers were unarmed. What the criminals didn't realize was that the second man at the clinic was an off-duty police officer. Using the distraction, he retrieved his pistol from his car and intervened. In the chaos, all four suspects fled the scene, though one was shot in the leg during the confrontation. Despite his injury, he still managed to escape with the group. Police searched the area and are following a trail of blood that may help identify the wounded suspect. At the time of this report, none of the criminals had been arrested.
My dad texted me and was like, stay out there or something like that. Rachel just hit me and I'm tired of her bullshit. So I came back inside because I'm not gonna let anyone hit my dad. Like, I just don't want to get taken away from my dad.
April 23, 2025, police in Ohio rushed to a home after a 15-year-old girl calls 911, reporting that her father is being attacked by his wife. What follows is a raw, emotional, and disturbing confrontation, all captured on body cam. When officers arrive, the husband explains what happened. He says the fight started over something small but quickly turned violent. It's not the first time, he admits, but he rarely calls police because in his words, nothing ever comes of it.
I've had this happen before and I know ain't nothing gonna happen out of it, so.
Well, not necessarily. I don't know what the situation is here or what the situation's been before, but so what happened today? Like, you want to talk out here away from the kids, or what do you? Is this your wife?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna go out there, but she's out there, so
Okay,
never mind.
okay.
I can go outside. Yeah, dude, she just started arguing with me earlier. She drank this, which she never does, but she's going through some shit with her job where they're letting them go at the end of the month, so she's all pissed about that.
Yeah.
We got back from the store, dude, and just out of nowhere, she snatched the headphones out of my ears when I was sitting there, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I didn't buy that shit for you to come in here and start acting like this to me. And then she snapped again and started doing all this shit and just going off. And then I came in here, my daughter came in from the game over there and was talking to her. She tried to bring my daughter into it, started yelling at her, "Are you mad at your dad for blah, blah, blah," and this and that. And my daughter said no, went outside because she wasn't trying to deal with that either. We thought it was going to blow over. She comes out of nowhere while my daughter's standing right there and just starts ripping my shirt, wailing on my head. My Mountain Dew spilled everywhere because I was holding a cup of Mountain Dew, and my hat's soaked in there. Other than that, I mean, once like she knew that they were calling y'all, she went out there and she's been out there on the phone with somebody since.
Okay. How long have you guys been married?
I think it's like 8 years now. And I knew her a little bit before that, so we've been like trying to work through shit multiple times, dude. But
She hit you with a closed fist, slapping?
I mean, I don't really know. It wasn't like, I don't want to say it wasn't painful or nothing.
Yeah.
Was, you know, she was doing something, dude.
Okay.
The Mountain Dew fell out and I just felt her hit in my head. She was done. I stepped outside.
Okay. We'll go out here and find her.
All right.
All right. Hello. What's going on?
There's just like so much. My job is contracting out. Things have been rough at home. I had a rough day. I had a really bad day. And yes, I did drink. I was just trying to be calm. I'm sorry you guys had to be bothered. I know you guys have other things going on.
Then the officers speak to his wife, and that's when the emotions boil over. She opens up about drinking, stress at work, years of resentment, and frustrations raising her husband's children. What begins as an explanation turns into a 9-year history of pain, accusations, and regret.
My husband is never there for me, okay? He is never there for me. The last 3 weeks have been so rough, and I've been trying all day. Like, he can't sense that, like I'm having a hard day, and I just need my husband not to be a ass for 5 seconds. He has his 15-year-old daughter screaming, like...
Yeah, it kind of sounds like maybe your guys' relationships went a little bit too far now. You said you guys been married 8 years.
Yeah, almost nine years. He still can't get after 9 years that when I've had a bad day. I just need him to just be there and be supportive and be there for me. You know, after I've dealt with his daughter's mouth for 3 freaking weeks, calling me fat, calling me a cum, running her mouth, disrespecting me, doing nothing. Doing nothing. I can't put my hands on a kid. I can't do anything, so I just have to take it. He won't stand up for me. My husband is never there for me. He told me he wanted me to leave the last time over and over and over again, so I left. And I went to Newark and I was gone for 2 months, and all I heard for 2 months was, "Why did you leave? Why did you leave? A good wife would have stayed." It's confusing. All I want to do is heal this. I don't know what he wants, but yes, I lost it. I lost it because of...
It's super unfortunate. It sounds like your guys' relationship's probably come to an end, or needs to come to an end if it hasn't already.
It needs therapy, because last time I left, he called me a dumb for leaving, and he told me a good wife would have stayed. I didn't want to leave. He told me to leave. I want to go to counseling. We need therapy. We need his children not to be involved in our relationship.
But when their teenage daughter steps in, her words paint an even darker picture. She claims this isn't an isolated fight, saying her stepmother has been aggressive many times before, even pulling her hair and making her cry before school.
I came back inside because I'm not gonna let anyone hit my dad, but I didn't do anything. I just stood there, and she was upstairs on the phone talking about, he's gonna call the cops on me now, obviously.
And said that I brought my kids into it.
But she brought us into it. We first came here, and we heard, "Oh, you have anger issues," and Tina even knows it. Bringing my mom into it, that has nothing to do with their argument. And no,
that's what she says all the time.
This is not the first time this has happened. She does this all the time, and she's rude to everyone in the house, and then she tries to blame it on everyone else. And so I came in, she started screaming, she got up in my face and started going, "Aren't you mad at your dad? Aren't you mad at your dad?" And I had no idea what was even going on, because I've been out there for an hour, and I just came inside. And I was so confused. I was like, "What are you even talking about?" And she was talking about how she was gonna help help get us taken away from my dad and stuff like that. Like just
help Tina, which is their mom right outside.
Which my mom.
Which we have no issues with each other or
Yeah,
anything. Like she
like-
just does random stuff like that, and it's like, what is going on?
One time, she pulled my hair and like grabbed my arms and stuff, and I went to my friend's house. And of course, my dad was mad because I ran away from the house. But he was mad at Rachel because she put her hands on me. She was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this again. I'm not gonna do this again." I just don't want to get taken away from my dad. I just don't.
You won't. Nothing like that's going to happen. Not from something like this.
With conflicting stories but visible evidence of an assault, officers explained that Ohio law gives them no choice. Even if the husband doesn't want to press charges, it's still considered domestic violence. The woman is placed under arrest.
Yeah, you are, and I don't have a choice, and I'm truly sorry, and I understand that doesn't help the situation at a moment, but unfortunately it's went too far.
Is he pressing charges? Is that why I'm being arrested?
So it doesn't matter whether he does or not when it comes to fights between couples who are married. It's domestic violence, and there's evidence of an altercation or assault. Ohio does not give us the choice.
Can you get my wallet? Because I'm supposed to be paid tomorrow.
She pleads for counseling instead of jail. He says he just wants her gone. Their daughter just wants peace. But now the decision lies in the courts. If she's convicted, what do you think the punishment should be? On a narrow street, a woman's camera captures a terrifying sight. A bull has escaped from a nearby farm. Startled by a motorcycle engine, the animal lowers its head, ready to charge.
Oh my god.
The woman tries desperately to warn others, but by then it's already too late. January 6, 2024, an elderly man collapses suddenly in the street, unconscious. His loyal dog immediately springs into action, refusing to leave his side. Moments later, a car approaches. The dog darts into the road, barking frantically, but would the driver notice in time or run them both down? Thailand. Dashcam video shows a man clinging to the hood of a moving car, his body pressed against the windshield as traffic speeds by. Inside, his ex-girlfriend drives for their new partner, terrified to stop. Onlookers gasp as the car barrels down the highway, with a man hanging on for dear life.
Sir, you need to leave our store. Sir, you're not going to get famous doing this. You need to go. The exit is right there.
Inside a San Francisco retail store, shoppers were stunned when a naked man wandered in, mask on his face, fire extinguisher in hand.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God.
As customers backed away in shock, a bystander suddenly struck him with a metal stand, dropping him to the ground. He tried to fight back, but was forced out as employees locked the doors behind him.
No idea. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. Oh my God. Yeah. Stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back. San Francisco PD's on their way. Hey, let him go, let him go. Lock the door, lock the door. Aiden, lock the door.
August 25, 2025, Asbury Park, New Jersey. At 8:44 a.m., officers rushed to a home on Prospect Avenue after reports of a structure fire. When they arrived, the scene was already dire. Thick black smoke and flames poured from the second floor, and time was running out. Then, out of the chaos, an 8-year-old child appeared at an upstairs window. Trapped by fire and choking smoke, there was no way out. The only option was to jump.
Anybody in there? Where you at? Come to the window, up in the window.
1005.
Push it out. Break it. Break the window. Just break it. Hard, 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 hard.
Silver. Unit 103W.
Push it, push it, push it. Hard, hard, hard. Come up to me, come to me. Put yourself up. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Push it open, bro. Squeeze, squeeze through. Squeeze. Who else is in there? You got it. Yo, tell them to come to the side of the house. Come on, come on. Come on, you got it. Come on. Clear the radio. Clear it. Come on. Push. Come on, bro.
You got one top. We're trying to get
come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. I got you, bro. I got you. I got you.
Just jump.
We got you. Jump, 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 jump. Get you through, brother. Come on.
He's passed up.
With seconds to spare, the child leapt from the window. Below, Officer DeWitt Biggin, Officer John Walsh, and local resident Joseph Dunbar braced themselves, and in one desperate moment, they caught the child midair, pulling them safely to the ground.
Anybody else? Do we know if anybody else is inside?
The juvenile was quickly rushed to the hospital, treated for smoke inhalation, and monitored for further injuries. Meanwhile, firefighters battled the blaze, finally forcing the flames into submission. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, but officials praise the officers and citizen whose fast action kept a tragedy from becoming even worse. A youngster's life saved in the split second between disaster and survival.
Just jump. We're right here. We're right here. Just jump. 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 Just do it. Do it. You got him. You got him. Go, go, go.
On August 23, 2025, in the Arzamas district of Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, a devastating crash occurred when a tanker truck transporting liquid carbon dioxide collided with a car carrier loaded with vehicles. The force of the collision caused the tanker's system to rupture and explode. Reports confirmed that the tanker driver died at the scene. Additionally, 2 people traveling in a nearby car sustained injuries and were given medical treatment. The violent blasts and wreckage underscored the extreme dangers of transporting hazardous materials, especially when high-impact collisions occur. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.